What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast with Julian. We made up. We fought, and now he's back
Yeah,
for one day. For one day. No, we didn't fought because I get that question every single live opening question.
yeah,
Where's Julian? We didn't fought. Said it 10 times. Just busy. But we said we will try to do one podcast a month if that's possible.
yeah,
We messed up last month, but here we are. So podcast
yeah.
number, I don't know, 10. No, it's more
It's
than
on you
10.
now. It's on you to keep track.
Podcast number one. Um, with me. So Julian, how have you been doing? Because a lot of people have been asking, what happened.
Well, obviously we never fell out. First and foremost, like that's crazy. I everyone knows I recently had a kid. Everyone knows I have a dog. Dog didn't feel good. And the kid was getting older, and I had to take. You had to be a husband at some point. You have to be a father, and that takes precedence over talking about Juventus. To be honest, I watched every game still. I kept up with them, but we never fell out. We're good. We still talked. Everyone saw if you got social media, we still bantered about on Twitter or X, what do you want to call it? Um, yeah, though, it's the holiday season. Feel good.
Yeah,
We're gonna
always.
talk about the team. We're gonna talk about the team and what I've missed, I guess, for 2 months or so, and it should be good because my viewpoints have not changed.
um, my actually, like actually, I spoke a lot. People are probably sick and tired of me. So, like you said, I don't think it's 2 months, but let's say it's 2 months. I think since the
Yeah,
Verona game, I think it was, uh, like a week.
probably something like that.
Yeah, a week before that was your last time you were on. So let's say
Yeah,
a good 2 months. Uh, at that point, we went on a streak. Not conceding, winning games, beating teams, not losing to Inter. I'm gonna say. So you talk on those last 2 months
the
basically.
streak. Yeah.
Yeah, like the streak,
So
everything surrounding it.
we never, yeah, we haven't lost since I've been away. So am
No.
I the jinx? Maybe. It's still not good though, is it? Like no one's convinced. People are gonna say, yeah, the results were 4 points off Inter, yada yada yada. We before we started speaking today, I believe I had no idea you said this as well though, but it's been a cupcake schedule. We've played all the best teams at home, except for Milan, of course, but we got Roma at home. You should be getting points at home, all 3 points, by the way, every time you play at home. That should be the expectation. We're doing the bare minimum to get those results. You saw last week against Genoa, played like ass, tied 1-1. So the quality and the standard of the football is not good still. You're grinding away at results because you're not playing midweek and the guys aren't gassed. Fair, whatever the reason is. I think the league got even weaker again. I couldn't even believe like last year was so bad, but this year is I think even worse to be honest. I think Inter's been better though. I
Yeah,
think Inter
yeah.
showed that they're even European quality. Like they've shown that they're better. So there's that. So let's say they matched up with Napoli from last year. Everyone else is ass. Like I'm not shocked we're at 37 points. I'm comfy. I'm cozy with it, but we're not good. It's just through the state of the league, basically.
So it is.
That's my viewpoint.
It is like that's what I've been saying. That no matter how, like you can win games and you can still not look good. Like I said, we will finish second. I think we did our prediction. I don't know, September.
Yeah.
I said we will finish
Yep.
second, and I expect this to be in a battle until I don't know the last month or so. And at this moment in time, we're on
For the
that
title.
pace for the title. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I said. And in this moment, we're on that pace. So I'm not surprised we're in this situation.
Yeah.
So I think I've all, how do you say that? I hold all the cards to say that I can still have critique because I said what I said. We are in the situation and it doesn't change anything. My biggest issue with this is I don't think we're going to win this season. Maybe the Coppa Italia because, well, Inter are out, Napoli are out. So you have a
Oh
shot.
yeah.
You have a
Forgot
shot.
about that.
But if we're not gonna win, I can accept that. However, my big issue is I don't see developments. I don't see any development from players, only the wrong players. Because when I say who's developing, people will say Gatti, okay, that's fine. He is. But I think that
Yep.
was just obvious because he comes from Serie B. Like you should improve a little bit. But he has
If you're getting this much game time, yeah.
yeah, so good. When people tell me Rabiot and Danilo, I'm like, it's kind of an issue. One is 32, one is 29. Good, but they should not be developing. Like those are not the
No.
players that should be developing. The players that should be developing are Miretti. He's not. Well, Fagioli did whatever he had to do, I guess. Like Yildiz is around the
Vlahovic.
team. He's not. Yeah, like he's Vlahovic, Chiesa. You know, people tell me Chiesa's having a great season. I said, if this is a great season, sell him. Like if that
Yeah.
if this is great, take the money and run with it because that's not great. 5 goals, 1 assist. Oh, good numbers. I have eyes. I've seen him play games, and I was like, fake an inch to get off that pitch. Just help yourself at this point.
Yep.
I think people forgot the Fiorentina game, the Atalanta game. You know, like he's not looking good. He's all attacking players not looking good, but the key players, the star players, are not improving. And I think fans are saying too easily, "Oh, they're not good. Get rid. Let's get Zirkzee." I'm like, this is an ongoing cycle. At one point, we need to talk about coaching, whether you like it or not. Because look at Leverkusen, what they're doing. That's crazy. They have 2, 3
Yep.
good players, like 2 crazy talents. Boniface, Wirtz, crazy talents. They have Grimaldo, who apparently wasn't good enough, but now he's, hey, they have Grimaldo, I was told. I'm like, you didn't want him in the summer. Nobody wanted him in the
Yeah.
summer. Oh, he's a free agent from Benfica. It's not good enough. I don't see improvement. And if we're not going to win, I think that's a big issue because no matter how we play, this team has players that can perform at a better level. I'm like
For sure.
the junior thing.
Um.
I will ask you about Junior really quickly because we,
Yeah.
we didn't beat Genoa, and the first thing on Twitter after game was Junior. I couldn't believe it. That's why he's not playing. Because this is probably happening. in
Oh, because
training.
he like made a couple of mistakes because he played center midfield because he slipped
like,
once or something.
Dude, he played 20 minutes in 16 games, and he played him as a Mezzala for like
Yeah.
I don't know 14 of the 20 minutes he was on that pitch, and you're blaming him.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's an issue. But then you get told, oh, but Allegri season training, we don't know. I'm like, at that point, no fan ever at any club can criticize a coach because we don't know what happens in training.
By the way, they have open training sessions.
They do. And funny you brought that up. I was watching part of it from this week. And
Yeah, they had one this week. Yeah, that's
the
right.
pace is very slow, and you hear
Of course,
Magnanelli
yeah.
saying, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. And people are saying, oh, but see, the coaching is saying this. And quoting videos from months ago where they're saying the same thing again. I'm like, this is not getting to the players, then it's a coaching issue. Like, the players are not getting it.
Yeah.
Like, something is up. Because, like you said, like, it's not good to watch. We're picking up the points, fine, I get it, but... Like, I see Kostic out there, and I have no idea what he's doing out there at times. Like,
He's a waste. He's a waste of space.
oh, but he's good defensively. I'm like, okay, but
Is he though?
apparently, like, I don't really see it against Napoli. I thought he was extremely disciplined, but that was the only game I came out of that game, and I was like, wow, he was extremely disciplined. That was noticeable. Other
Good job.
times-
He was disciplined.
Yeah, I'm
He
like,
did what he was told to
that's the
do.
bare minimum. No, that's
Good
the
job,
bare
man.
minimum. I have so many question marks on this, you know, and like you said, you know, we don't look good. We don't look good,
No.
but we win. I'm like, okay, we win, but do you believe? If I ask a question, do you believe we're gonna win at the end of the season? The title? Are
No.
we gonna win the title?
No. No
what's
chance.
really the
We'll be
point?
comfortably 8 or 9 points behind Inter. I think by
Actually,
the end of the season. Not soon. Like by the end of the season.
would you call it a failure if we don't beat this Inter team to the title? This
No.
squad? Okay.
We never had the expectation to.
Okay, that's my exact point. And people say, "Oh, but you cannot
Yeah.
put that on Allegri." I'm not putting not winning the title on Allegri this season. I'm
No.
not. I never said that. If he doesn't win a
By the
title,
way,
like,
I'll sorry. If we had a different coach, I might change my mind though.
okay, fair, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. But like, he's 3 years in the job, and I'm still not trying to blame him if he don't win the title this year. You know how much Like that's not normal. Like 3 years in the job, and I'm not blaming you for not being in a title race, being at Juve, but I will give him that, you know. So people cannot say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're putting pressure on him." I just won, like very basic improvements, and after Sassuolo, every little glimpse of maybe we're changing it up, gone, like
No,
just
remember I
gone.
said that? I was like, we're done. We were so done after that 4 goal game. We're so done. No, we're not even thinking about attacking anymore. And how many goals have we scored since that game? Have we
Between
scored more than 2 goals in a game since that game?
oh, I read out the stats on the show. I forgot. I think we scored once more than 2 goals. It's like it was a very bad. It's a very bad stat. Period. Like you,
Let's
actually,
take a look.
you don't really need to look it up. Everybody
Yeah,
has a memory.
we haven't.
When you come out of games, no, when you are. Last week I was live and people were quoting some chances players miss. I'm like, that's an issue if you can recall them by memory, like months
Yeah.
from months ago. It's an issue, you know.
You know how many chances Erling Haaland misses a game?
Yeah, that like that's I think the chance like you brought that up. I think that's the biggest topic, you know, the last weeks, chance creation.
Yeah.
The moment you bring up we don't create chances, boom. Chiesa Vlahovic, 5 big chances missed. You know, we do create chances. I'm like, that's the only freaking chances we we create. And if they
Yeah.
miss, they get one, maybe two in a game. I think that's already a stretch in games. If they don't take it,
Yep.
people will pile on them. And I'm not saying Vlahovic is
Crucify.
playing
Yeah.
well, by the way. I'm not saying that. But
You. I'll counter you. I'll counter that.
okay, he's like off the ball stuff has improved.
Yes.
Has improved. But I'm not looking at Vlahovic. I'm like, wow, that's great, you know.
No.
However, they get one chance a game, maybe two, you know. And the people, oh, Chiesa, you know. I'm talking about chance creation. And people are like, oh, if Chiesa scored against Genoa, I'm like, that was not a chance created. Like the goal he just handed to Chiesa, he should have scored.
Yeah.
But like those are not chances created. The chance Vlahovic missed should have done better. Was not a tap in like people were saying. It wasn't. If you play
You know.
football, it's tough.
You know how hard that is on the one hop to hit it, reverse, like spin your body with your opposite foot to time.
People, I think you're muted. I think you got mute. No, you're muted. But that chance
I'm
from
muted?
Vlahovic, you're back. You're back.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
chance wasn't. If you play football, I a lot of the times it
Dude,
will
that's
look
so
like
hard.
that. It's not. It's not easy, but people are because there are only 1, 2 chances a game. People are looking at it and like, oh, you missed that.
Yeah.
And what now? I'm like, what now? Give him another chance. Like that's what now. But they get one, they miss, and it's getting in these players' head, especially Vlahovic. I think that's very obvious. It got to him, and even Chiesa. I don't look at Chiesa. I'm like he's enjoying playing football at this moment in time. You know, I don't see it, and the chance creation thing is and remains the I think the biggest issue at this moment in time because I watch other games, you watch even Frosinone or you watch Bologna, it's like, okay, they do create chances. When you watch us, it's like it's the bare minimum, you know?
Yeah.
It's
We
because
haven't scored
that's
more than 2 goals. We haven't scored more than 2 goals since the Lazio game.
okay, that was the early September, right? No?
Yep.
Was it? I think it was first week
Yeah.
of September maybe?
Mid September. It was the
Mid-September,
5th game of the year.
Yeah.
4th game of the year. One,
That's
two,
not
three,
good.
4.
Like that's bad.
And again, the teams we played: Lecce, Verona, Cagliari, Monza, Genoa.
Do
It's-
do you
Go.
believe that what people are saying is true? He sees it in training. This team, this is the only thing he can get out of it. Nothing more flashy, nothing
No.
more adventurous. Are you from that
No.
opinion as well? Because a lot of people,
No.
that's what people are telling me. Like, oh, he
No.
sees him in training. That's it. We need to accept it. I find that hard to believe.
The way he sees stuff is obviously different to everybody. Everyone has their own opinion of what happens. He is an older man who is not up with the times, and he sees what's his famous words as a coach:
Yeah, cortomuso.
win the game, whatever. Win the game as bare minimum as possible. Get like ever since that Sassuolo game, I'm telling you, Something like a wire zapped in his head.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, screw this, Manuelli. I don't care what the hell you say at practice anymore. We're done. We're going back to we're going back to my roots, Allegri's roots. Um, and I don't agree with people. Like, look at the roster, like the squad, like Chiesa, Euro Cup winner, team of the tournament, like very skilled, very powerful player when he's on the ball and he's going. He plays him up top. Why? That's his choice, by the way. Let me go. Let me continue. Filip Kostic, what is he? Eintracht Frankfurt. He won the Europa League and he won the player of the season because he crossed the ball in a bunch of times. To players who score with their head, right? Or to players who will score on the end of crosses. Is that Chiesa who's a forward? No. Is that Vlahovic who usually scores on header? No. He was never great with the ball in the air. Does the ball even go to the right side? When Weah was playing? No. When Cambiasso was playing, he's always in midfield. When McKennie was playing out wide, nothing happens. The ball stops. The ball goes backwards the other way. I'm not saying McKennie's been bad this year, by the way, but that's even saying something. Rabiot, does he look forward to pass the ball? No. Like, what are we expecting here? He's putting these players into these positions. He's choosing to start Kostic and cross the ball into no players who want to use their head. Or get on the end of crosses. When McKennie plays out wide, does he get into the box? No. What does he tell McKennie to do? Get in the box and score goals. So, like, it's coaching because none of it makes sense. When Moretti plays, he hides. He's like, I'm not saying he's trying to do the right thing, but then nobody else is on the same page as him because it's Rabiot with him, it's McKennie with him, it's Kostic on the left side with him, it's Chiesa who's doing his own like it's all it's disjointed. It's not good. It's not free flowing, and they're not on the same page. And that's coaching. It's not the players. But at the same time, you have to know your player personnel, what they're good at and what they're not good at.
I I think you're right, by the way, but I think that's obvious. You know, when he comes out and he says like he plays Junior as a mezzala. I'm like, it wasn't needed. You just could have pulled Kostic and put Junior in. It was very simple to resolve. You know, but he tries the thing, and people are like, oh, but he looks rubbish. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna look rubbish. He's not a mezzala. Also, you benched him for the last 7 weeks or so, whatever. You know what?
Where does he play for the next gen team? Where do you play for the next gen team?
On the left.
Everyone watched. He played left midfield.
He hasn't played for the next gen this season.
No, I mean like before he came to the.
He played on the left
team.
a lot, you know. But he's not number 8. Like we've seen in the preseason a couple of games, it was enough to say you're not gonna be it.
Yeah,
he shouldn't be it. But he makes that choice. We're chasing a game, and he's gonna overcomplicate it even more. Like we looked all over the place to chase the game. By the way, we do. Like we don't have a thing to fall back on. You know, little patterns. You know, just everybody relax. We'll play our way out of it.
No,
we don't
it's
have
put
that.
the ball wide, cross it in.
And it's already chaos, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna throw some oil on it. Like Junior Mezzala, have a whatever, have a go at it. And I'm like, he's gonna have a go, but that go is not gonna be good, and that's what you get. You know, that's what you get. It's unbelievable. And then you come out and you have people saying, "Whoop, Genoa is a tough place." I know Genoa is a tough place, but they're rubbish. Like people are telling me, give them more credit. I'm not gonna give Genoa credit. They're rubbish. they're not a good
team.
side. They're not a good side. They're absolutely not. You know, they're not. So why would I give them credit? That's insane. Like every time we drop points or we do something, I need to give the others credit. Why can I not criticize us? Why can I not look at us? You know, or we cannot win them all. No shit. Like nobody said we're gonna win them all. Like nobody ever won them all. Like no team won them all. Like we know that. Like I don't need to hear that. That's lazy excuse. What also is a lazy excuse is, you don't see what happens in training. You know, okay,
I hate that.
Like that's an argument that it's waterproof because I don't see what's happening in training. Good, you're right. What now? Like, what is? If you want proof, look at Sule. Rubbish last season.
Also,
Look
yeah.
at it now. What was happening in training? Like, you tell me
Also,
now. You tell me now. What was he doing in training?
what's happening in training when Allegri puts Illing in center midfield? Is he Maradona all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Like, what's
Apparently,
happening?
because he played him again, But Nichea looks good. Like, it's unbelievable. Huijsen is leaving. I'm like, good for you, buddy.
Good. Yeah.
Yildiz
Enjoy
try to
Frosinone.
run away as well. Run. Like,
Yeah.
like find the team, go alone. Junior, leave. Like, leave. Just leave for your own sake because he's not helping himself.
I'm
and he's definitely
yeah.
not helping us. Like, he's not helping
No.
us. So what's the point,
If you get 20 million, sell him.
I'm actually scared where this is heading a little bit. Like, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm very scared about it. Because even with
You're scared
Links,
about the
we'll
youth
talk
leaving.
about it.
Yeah.
Like, the hype
Oh,
was, I don't know. The hype is gone. Because people are like, it flipped really quickly to, get them all out. He wants Højbjerg. That's good. That's what we probably need. No, we don't. No team needs Højbjerg. Not even Højbjerg needs
Not now.
Højbjerg. Like, what's happening now? The shift is dangerous in my opinion. It's leaning towards insanity at this point. It is. Oh, but he won in the past. I think he's a club legend. I never disrespect him for winning. I acknowledge he's won that. However, that's
It's
6 years ago
2024
now.
Yeah.
Know? Oh yeah, better players. Fine. I 100% agree. He had better players. I'm not gonna dispute
Yeah.
that.
And he made
Thiago
the
Motta-
Champions League final. Yeah.
Does Thiago Motta is best player? Better players. Oh, but he's 9 points behind. They should. Because he has a worse squad. Like, they should
Yeah.
be 9 points behind. He has
Yeah.
a worse squad. But you know what? They look better than us. They're not going to win anything. Like us. Maybe the Coppa Italia. Whatever. Fine. It will always flip, when you talk about coaching and you talk about, and I didn't even brought up Xabi Alonso yesterday. People brought it up and I was like, good, we will have a conversation on Xabi Alonso because he scored 80 goals in 25 games and is leaning towards a record. Oh, he has great strikers. I'm like, yes, Patrick Schick. Who on planet Earth rates Patrick Schick? If you say yes, you're lying. You're absolutely lying. He's 29. He never had a season where he scored 20 goals for club.
Yep.
So you're lying. You're absolutely lying. Oh,
He
yes,
failed at Roma.
Boniface. Nobody knew Boniface last season when he was playing for Union. Nobody knew it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Wirtz with Torres ACL came back, looks amazing,
And plays every game
and plays every game. What about
in his right
Chiesa?
position.
Like, you see where it's going? Oh, let's see what happens in the future for Xabi Alonso. I don't know. But what's happening now, I can see. And what happened in the past, I also can see. I can see what Leverkusen was before he joined. I can see that.
They were garbage.
Apparently, coaching is not a thing. I don't know what's that. Why are we paying him 9 million? Why is Guardiola being paid? Klopp. If coaching doesn't matter, just put, I don't know, anyone in Klopp's place. Coaching does matter. The coach is there to improve players. I don't see improvement.
No.
I don't want to talk about Rabiot being improved. I'm like, he's 29. Like, now he's improving?
Yeah.
Like, now? No.
And is he improving, or is he just the same guy excelling in a system?
Or was he just that rubbish that it couldn't get any worse? Like, it couldn't be possible worse. Remember when Danilo, his first season? Rubbish. It possibly couldn't get worse. Like, if it was worse, he would have retired at this point because he was rubbish.
They shoehorned him, and they're sheltering him.
People don't believe that against Genoa. When we were trying to chase the game and we're a bit opening, I had 2 mini heart attacks at times. He doesn't
It's
have
his
the
fault.
pace. Like,
No.
I don't want to go ahead with a team with the wrong players. I'm not saying play Huijsen in that. Like, in there, I gotta get these.
I'm saying play Huijsen.
My issue is we're loaning him out because you know what? Alexandro's getting minutes. I'm like, Alexandro is gone. Like, why? Why should he play? Rugani looked great. I don't care that Danilo is the captain. He looked great.
Yep.
What was the point of pulling him? Like, what is the I don't care if does anyone really sit here and believes we cannot bench Danilo because he's named captain? Like, come on.
I know. I know.
Like, let's be honest. Like, Rugani was playing well, and I'm not even the biggest Rugani fan, but I was like, don't break it up now. Just don't do it. And it's not that we've been shocking afterwards, but it's these little things. I'm like, he's not that player, Danilo. You gave him the captaincy, but it doesn't mean anything because you kind of lied. You told it it is based on appearances, and Chesney never got it. So you kind of lied
Yeah.
about that as well. Like, if let's say we were in 2006, so Piero got injured, he come back, or Buffon, and he gets back into the team. I'm like, yeah, you know what?
That makes
Like,
sense.
even if he's not captain, yeah, don't bench him. You know, play him with one
Yeah.
leg. We need him. I don't look at Danilo. I'm like, yeah, you're that type of player. I just don't.
Danilo is a very replaceable player. Like Hoyson can replace him, and it'll be the same thing, in my opinion. Probably better because he's better on the ball. That's that's the reality of the situation. And his positioning is better, by the way. And he's 18.
He's 18.
Anyway,
It's unbelievable.
I, dude, I don't believe what's like I said at the beginning. The league is shit. We are where we are because the league is shit. Good for us. Good for all Juventus fans, whatever. They want to celebrate being second, and they're okay with this style of play and sustainability, blah, blah, blah. That's another word, buzzword, sustainability. Are these results sustainable? Set piece of goals, blah, blah, blah. It's buzzwords on Juventus
Set
Twitter.
pieces are goals. Don't complain. They count.
Yep. They were really good against Genoa. Really worked out. Really good.
Bremer, you know, we were unlucky. Like the Bremer one. He didn't even
Oh, yeah.
touch it. But hey, we were
Yeah.
unlucky.
Went off his nutsack in the goalie, and right into the goalie's hands.
That's what
Great.
we're pinning our hopes on to beat. I don't even want to talk about refereeing decisions because that's
No,
I
it's
think
irrelevant.
everything-
Irrelevant.
I don't have any time for that.
Every team gets bad calls. Every team has good
I will
whatever.
complain
It's
about
irrelevant.
it if Genoa got a pen in the same game for the same thing. Then I will be like, hold on, like something's.
I still don't care because we know what the refereeing is. The only thing I get mad at is if the lines are drawn wrong
Okay,
and there's a camera not there. Last year, Salernitana is the only time I've ever got rattled at refereeing. That's it.
It's bad.
So whatever. We move on. Refereeing, I don't give a shit. But relying on set pieces and saying, "Oh, we won 1-0, that shouldn't count," or whatever the banter is. When it doesn't happen, when you don't get a set piece, what happens? How do you even get set pieces? How do you get set pieces in the game?
They're being fouled up top.
Being fouled up top, or being in the attacking third
Yeah.
and getting corner kicks.
But
You don't get a corner kick from sitting back and waiting for them to get the ball. Like, blows my mind. Anyway, nothing's changed in 3 years, like you said. But it is scary looking at the future. There's two ways you can look at it. Allegri's staying, and I think he is, for another year. That means Rabiot's staying. Probably staying. That means the kids are leaving. That's my honest opinion.
yeah,
He can go. You saw the video of Hoyson and Yildiz.
I was like, I'm not gonna
He's
lie.
lying.
I've not watched it because
Okay, I watched.
I don't know how long does it take. Is it 20 minutes?
18 minutes. Yeah.
I said I'm not gonna waste my time on it because this is PR. We're loaning out
Yeah, no,
Houston. Yildiz
don't.
not getting minutes. You can hype it up as much the way he speaks about Yildiz, you should be playing him.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
think he's good enough, age doesn't matter. You play him. We're chasing the
Yep.
game against Genoa. He gets 4 minutes.
No point.
What was that about? Keena's injured. He will get his minute. Milik played, came in multiple times, didn't do well. As a coach, you think Yildiz is a guy 60-minute or 65-minute when he pulled off Vlahovic. Yildiz, you're up. You're up now. Because I believe in you. I don't think he believes in him. Like, he believes
No,
in
he
him.
doesn't.
He
No
sees
chance.
in him, he's like, wow, you know. However, Milik can hold up the ball. He can do that. Forget about it. I'm like, it's 1-1. Like, what do you have? Like, would have been worse if you put in Yildiz instead of Milik. Would it?
Nope.
Like, I think he thinks we're gonna lose. You know what? We're not gonna lose. If you think we're gonna lose because you didn't put in Milik, that's bad because Milik is a striker. Like, it's
Yeah.
1-1. You know, we're chasing games, and that's why I didn't watch it. I knew Houston was gonna leave. I'm like, what's the point of watching it? It's
Yeah,
like that
we're not
Barca
gonna
last
lose.
season.
Yeah.
with
Yeah, that the
Sule,
whole
Fagioli, and
yeah,
was it
they're all
Miretti?
gone. Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
it's PR, and I'm like, for what at this point?
yeah.
Talking about Rabiot because that's one of the topics.
Yeah.
He is quote unquote gonna stay. His mom came out, gave an interview, was rattled about a like he's renewing. How do you want to say that? Renewing his contract story. I was like, that's not a story you should be rattled about, because at that point every agent is putting out statements 24/7.
Yeah.
But whatever. So he's gonna say if we get Champions League, basically, which
Yeah.
we are gonna get at this point. You cannot mess this up anymore. We don't win without Rabiot. Why? Why do we
I
not
think we
win?
just I think we just talked about it for 35 minutes. Why we don't win, like it's the way the coach has him as the focal point, as the star boy. He's our star man. Sorry, not boy. He's our star man. He contributes nothing offensively, but he's great in the defensive third and in the neutral third, especially. He nullifies their better midfielders, the opponent's better midfielders, and he retains the ball.
He retains it too long, but
I never said I said he retains the ball. I never said it's a good thing. I never said it's a bad thing. That's what the coach wants.
you know what?
And he's what 6'3", 200,
Yeah,
185 pounds. He's a big frame, and who's going to take the ball from him?
I think you're right, because we don't look the same because we don't have a backup plan.
Yeah,
And the backup plan are players with completely different.
Fabio Moretti.
Yeah,
What's his skill set?
you cannot replace Rabiot with Miretti if you never do that on a regular basis. Because it's something completely different. What doesn't help as well if you have Kostic around Miretti as well. It's not a good thing
No,
to have. Like, it's not. I
no.
remember one moment in that Genoa game where Miretti was on the edge of the box, and he was, when I say open, he was open, like for a
Yep.
good 5 to 8 seconds, and he was yelling for that pass, an easy pass on the edge of the box. He could just turn
I
and
think
put
I
it in,
heard. Yeah.
and Kostic looked up twice, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna cross it for Vlahovic, who was not even in the box, but I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
And he was losing his shit, Miretti. He was going off. He was like, "What is
That's
this? Like, what
that's
is
when you
this?"
heard. I heard Filippo being screamed.
Yeah, he was
Like
mad.
on the yeah
He was
yeah
he was going crazy. He was like, "What are we doing here? I'm alone." For
yeah.
like a good 8 seconds, he was on the edge of the box. If he receives that ball, I'm not saying it's a goal, whatever, but he
No,
was in a key position to make a play. And Kostic was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it in, no matter who's out there. And actually, there was nobody out there. Just Dragozin just puts it away like he was doing all game.
yeah
And I was like, pull off Miretti. He's useless. He's going to
yeah
be useless. If you're not going to play him in between the lines consistently, he's useless for this team.
yeah.
Just pull him out and whatever. Just throw in, mix it up. I don't know, because this is pointless. And the Kostic thing, the Rabiot thing is that it's we play a different way, and we don't have players to back it up, back him up.
It's
Basically,
ball
it's
retention. Get the
different.
ball out wide. If he's in the box, maybe he scores.
That's why we don't win. It's not. I don't think. I don't know. Like, realistically, what percentage of fans are gonna be angry if we lose Rabiot next summer? Like, how many?
I'll say quite a few. It's not. I don't think it's quite 50-50. I think it's slightly less than 50-50.
He's one of those players. If he leaves, I'm like, we can replace you. Like, it's not that hard to replace you. I'm sorry, it's not that
No,
hard.
no. Time out. If Allegri's coaching, it's hard to replace him.
Okay,
If
yeah.
there's a different coach, easy. Replaceable player, easy.
Quality wise, I'm like, it's not really
Yeah,
hard, especially not for
yeah,
9 million, whatever, 8 million. It's not that hard.
yeah.
Like, actually, we can probably do it for 3.5. You
Yep.
can, like, you can replace him, because it's not. How do you want to say that? Like, he's key for the squad, the way we play, but like, he's not a key player. Oh, he plays for France. I'm like, okay, he plays for
What does he do
France.
for France?
So does Chesney, and everybody shits on Chesney. Like how we like? Do you want it? You cannot have it both ways. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
players play for their national team. What does that even mean? Like, tell me. You know, Acerbi plays for Italy. Do you want Acerbi at the club? Like, I don't know. I don't know what. He plays for the national team actually means. Immobile plays for the national teams. Doesn't score ever. You know. So
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. He plays for the national team. Deschamps likes him. I'm like, good for Deschamps. You know, I guess. You know, it doesn't help the argument. You know, when I ask people,
I'll say this. What happens when Pogba and Conte play in the midfield versus Rabiot and I don't know,
yeah, I
Tchouaméni?
mean, we don't need to talk about it. Or he gets played left back, just to
Yeah.
say, and he gets cooked,
It's
which is
yeah.
normal. But
Yeah.
it's I said it pre-game. I'm like, they're gonna be excuses if we don't beat him without Rabiot, and well, like we should be beating Genoa without Rabiot. I'm just saying, you know,
We should,
but we
but
can't.
if we know everything about the team and the club with Allegri, I do expect to win.
I expected to win against Genoa. I did. You know, not 3-0, scrape it. I knew
Yeah.
it was going to be. I thought it was going to be tough, you know, atmosphere, pressure from Genoa. They're rubbish.
Yeah.
They- it
They're
wasn't.
horrible.
It wasn't that high intensity game. It wasn't. Maybe towards the end, but like that was just survival mode. But
Yeah.
other than that, it wasn't that type of game. I came out of it. I'm like, that's sad. Like that's absolutely
Yeah.
sad. You know that we created the Vlahovic chance. We took the pen, and the goalie gave us a chance, and that's about it. The Bremer one, if you want to count it, like it was just there, you know, and he couldn't just control it at that point. We didn't create anything. It kind of reminded me a bit of the Sampdoria game when Kostic should have scored in minute 93 last season.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing, you know. We struggle
Yeah.
to break certain teams down. Low blocks or like teams that are not really adventurous, we have a big issue.
Oh yeah.
Like you cannot rely on Chiesa because he starts in a position that's very tough to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not an open space, and I also don't think it works with Vlahovic close. You know, he's not he's not a striker.
He's not.
You know what it was? I was on a run a few days ago. I think no, it was Wednesday. No, that's a lie. It was Tuesday.
Nice.
It was, and it just hit me. I'm like, why is nobody really talking about Chiesa playing as a forward? Like, how is that not more of a conversation, if that makes sense? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Oh yeah, 5 goals and 1 assist. You know what? I think he would have had
That's
more.
horrible.
I think he would have had
Yeah.
more if he just played in his natural position and the team is set up in a different way. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, like, why is it not a bigger topic? Because it's not working, is it? Like, it's not working. It worked for like 2 weeks.
Let me ask you a question. You know, we play three at the back. What if he okay, so cancel out, don't pretend the coach isn't the coach, and we're just changing the formation to 4-3-3. Would you be okay with Alexandro playing left back and Chiesa playing left if it meant they're changing?
I will be open for it.
Okay. Me too.
I will be open for it. Just because, like we said at the start, I think the teams below us are not that good. You know, we will drop points.
Yeah.
They will drop points. We can. However, I think if we're not going to win stuff, players will improve in a different setup. You know,
Yes.
this setup is not made for Junior. Actually, yeah,
No.
it's not made for Yildiz. It's not made for Chiesa. It's not made for Miretti. It's
So why are we playing it if we're trying to win? Or if we're not if we're not going to win, why are we trying it right now? Like, why don't we try to play with a style of play with our players that we currently have to develop them into potential winners?
I have no answer for that. I think nobody has a real answer for that. You know, we don't
What
have
is the point of
fullbacks.
playing what's the point of playing 3-5-2 with Danilo, Rabiot, Kostic, blah 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 blah, all these older players if we're not going to win? Because let me tell you something. We're 4 points off Inter. We've had a cupcake schedule. We're not better than them, clearly. We're not winning the Scudetto, and we're going to be comfortably top 4. What's the point of doing 3-5-2?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
There are fans who think we could win. Fair, good for you. Have that optimism. Maybe we can squeak one out if that's what you're thinking. Um, would you rather us play 3-5-2, potentially win, but not quite? Like, say we're 3 points off and we were playing 3-5-2 all season with these players: Danilo, Rabiot, Kostic, blah blah blah. Nothing's gonna change next year.
No, no. Yeah. But when
And
you
then you play Champions League again next year, and then what happens next year when
when
you
you
can't play Chiesa every game, when you have to
well,
play someone else up top and you can't play? Like, what happens?
when you people say, "Oh, we cannot switch it up," it's they will say, "Oh, we don't have the fullbacks." Do we have the attacking department to play 3-5-2?
No,
Okay, then why is that not a debate? You know, why do we need to say, "Oh, we don't have the fullbacks to play in a back four," but it doesn't really matter if we don't have the attacking front line to match 3-5-2. Oh, but Chiesa can play as a striker. He's scoring goals because he's probably gonna get scored goals because he's that talented.
yep,
But it's not like nobody can convince me. They're watching Chiesa and they're like, "My God, that's Chiesa." Nobody, absolutely
no,
nobody. He didn't score a goal since September until a couple of days ago, basically. Like,
it was a
come on.
penalty shot.
Like, yeah, like let's be 100% honest over here. We went through a period of, I don't know, 5-6 games. Not one forward scored. Like, we're
Yep,
defenders and midfielders. Oh, but they're also players. I'm like, okay, like we can never
they
have a
are.
conversation.
You're right.
We cannot have. Oh, they're all goals. I'm like, okay, yes, they're all goals. I get there were all goals last season when we were rubbish, and the season
And
before
is
as
this
well.
sustainable? And then when your midfielders and defenders don't score, what happens?
Yeah, like they were scoring goals last season.
Yep,
Like,
Rabiot scored 10.
yeah, like I don't like the big thing is when you say something about Allegri, it's off. You cannot have it both. Like, I criticize him, I give him praise for certain things. Did the same with Vlahovic. It's not good enough. You need to be on one train, and it's very obvious which train it should be.
Yeah,
And the moment you're just, nah, I'm not really doing that, you get hammered for it. Talking about Vlahovic and Allegri, because that's the big debate, basically.
yep,
What do you make of it? Because really quickly, I will answer the question people ask me. Because I
yep.
will go in a debate and then they will say, give me a percentage of how much blame is on Vlahovic and how much is on Allegri. Because apparently percentage is a thing in this. I don't even know how I measure it, but you try. You give me a percentage because I don't know how to measure it.
Okay, let's take it back to before he came to the team. At Fiorentina, why was he successful? They played a brand of football that was go, 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 attack. And he had players around him that could create chances fairly, like a good amount of per game. They gave him an opportunity to score the way he can score frequently. How can he score frequently? Cutbacks into his feet. He can get it on the spin and shoot around the box. Anywhere in the box, he can pretty much score. Like if it's obviously we're going back to last week and the hops in front of his foot and he swings it with his right foot over the net. That's hard. I'm talking about when he's facing the goal, he's usually going to put it in the net. Could we all agree on that?
Yeah.
We saw Fiorentina quite easily,
Yeah.
quite often. Even with Juventus, he usually scores when he has a good chance in the box.
Yeah.
We do not provide that. That again is system. So I'll blame Allegri. I'll blame Allegri for that part. For his part, he is a very emotional player.
Yeah.
He a lot of criticism gets to his head after every goal he scores. He goes, "Yeah, it's me." Whatever touches his thing, like touches everything, and then he's like celebrating. He's like, "Yeah, I'm back." Like I don't need that. I don't need that at all. To be honest, I need a goal scorer who knows that he's done it before. Put the ball away and play well. That's it. You were bought for how much? 80 million?
Yeah. We
That's
overpaid.
not his fault, by the way. That's not his fault.
Yeah.
That's not his fault he makes so much money. I know that. But act like you've done it, be better, and expect more of yourself. If your touch is off, work on it. If your movement is off, work on it. But the way the team is set up around him, he can't work on that, can he?
No, no.
Like you said, Chiesa and him playing together, close to each other, it doesn't work. They both want to turn and go. Vlahovic does not want to hold the ball up. It's clear, and he's not good at it either.
Is he an Allegri striker? And if you
No,
say no, okay, then
no,
why did we spend 80 million? Because we got him because we were desperate because Morata was stinking it out. Like he was
exactly.
like, if you want to talk about missing sitters, Morata was doing it at an
That's
incredible,
the yeah.
at a crazy rate. Like it was every single week. Like he was missing tap-ins and like every
I would
single
still
week.
take him, by the way, right now
Yeah, but
over Milik.
like, okay, like fine. But he wanted Vlahovic, he wanted Milik, he wants Keane, and all these players.
Yep.
They're not performing, and people are like, oh, they're rubbish. I'm like, okay, they're rubbish, but he
Yeah.
wanted all these players. He wanted
Yep.
Di Maria. Oh, but he's rubbish. He's old. I'm like, okay, like, when are we gonna blame him? Like, there's always an excuse. There's always a way out. You know, there's no.
Yeah.
You cannot have a balanced conversation. It's Vlahovic is
Who's our best
rubbish.
players on our team? Who's our best players on our team this year? Top 3, I'll say.
I'm gonna go Bremer,
Yep.
McKennie.
Yep.
Ooh, that's tough. Like,
Is it Rabiot? Besides
it's
Gatti, is it
Rabiot, it's
Rabiot?
sad because he was absolutely anonymous for most part of the season.
Yep. So those 3?
I think that, like, I don't want to take a shot at McKennie, but I think it's an issue that McKennie is top 3 because he runs, he puts,
Yep.
he has a lot of effort and good. But Allegri came out and he said, technically you're not good, so you need to make it up with your heart. That's basically saying, nah, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But you know what he's trying to say, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is Juve. Like, what is happening? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, he's basically telling you're not good enough, but you run, like, run hard, boy, and you will make
Yep.
it. I'm like, oh boy. When I read that quote, I'm like, no, 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 no. And when you say something about McKennie, oh, but he's our best player. I'm like, that's part
That's
of
an
the
issue.
freaking issue. Because he's not a right winger. I'm not going to blame him for that. But when he plays out
No.
there, he runs defensively good. But at one point, that ball is done. You know, it stops. Like, and it goes back. And it's a good thing it goes back because it's not going forward. If it's going forward, it's going to the opposing team. You know, and I don't blame him for
Yep.
that because even Allegri said technically, you're not all that. So that is an issue.
So those 3 players. So are those 3 are those sorry, are those 3 players the most technically gifted players on our team?
No, not at all.
Are they probably the 3 technically worst players?
They're up there. Yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah,
that's an
McKennie
issue,
is-
isn't it?
McKennie-
Like
Yeah.
Bremer's not good with his feet, is he?
no, he's not. Like,
He's a
defensively,
brick solid house. He's amazing though, but he's not great with his feet. Rabiot, no, like
Remember last season we were having this. I said it many times. This team is set up to make bad players look good enough.
yep,
And for some reason, a lot of people are accepting it, and I'm very confused. I'm extremely confused because if I told you in 2000s, and I could have not told you because nobody knew who McKennie was at that point, but
Yeah.
I'll give you the same profiles. I'm like, in a couple of years, you're hyping up these type of players. They will say, "Shut up." What are you?
I'll say,
telling
why
me?"
is this guy on my team?
And you would say you're lying. Like, why
Yeah.
how would I do that? We're so bad that people have lowered their standards, and they have.
Yep.
Nobody can say no. Oh, we're a bad team. I know, like, we're not the same team as 2016. I get it, but that doesn't mean you need to lie. Like, you don't need to lie and
Yeah,
say,
do you remember that one? We had there was like a conversation on Twitter like 3 weeks ago, and they're like, "Oh, McKennie's like Edgar Davids and Vidal," and we're like, "What?"
"Oh my god."
We're like, "What?"
McKennie as a no, it was McKennie. You know what? Who was it? Somebody told me that,
Something along those lines.
he told
What's his?
she told
Yeah,
me, I
she.
think it was she told me that, oh, we have players like McKennie, technically not good but very hardworking, like Conte, Vidal.
Oh yeah,
I saw Vidal and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
If you're but I'm not comparing him them. Yes, you are. Like, you put him in the
You
same
did.
sentence. You are comparing him. You're crazy. You should be locked up. Like you cannot say these things. I'm sorry. Like if you're comparing
No.
McKennie with Vidal, so we were
And
waiting.
Edgar Davids.
Let's go back to 2012, 13, 14, and we didn't have Vidal. You had McKennie. Was he
God,
scoring?
God help me.
Oh, he was hard working. He was getting double-figure goals and assists. Vidal.
Yep.
That was a thing. I'm not making it up. He was ridiculous. Like he was ridiculous.
In a team with Pirlo and Marquisio, he was like the MVP, wasn't he? It's sort
There
not
was a
one season
season he
or
was the best midfielder. Like
yeah,
I liked all
with
of them.
Marquisio and Pirlo in it.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, but that's insane what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
everything. And you're comparing McKennie with him? McKennie, like I think I have better technique than McKennie. Probably not, but like, like come on.
In some scenarios, you probably will, because in some he's
He doesn't
lead
see.
foot.
You know what frustrating is with McKennie? He sees things, but you can also see in him that he realized I cannot do it. I cannot play that ball.
Yeah.
And he takes a few touches. I'm like, gone. Like moment gone. And it's
Yeah.
so frustrating. And I don't blame him, by the way. You know, he is who he is. I cannot put that on him because he cannot get better in that situation. He just can't. I
No.
know he hit the ceiling in that regard. He's not going to improve that. You know, you have the technique or you don't. He doesn't. Period. You're not going to learn that at age 25, 4. Like that. You learn that at age 10 to, I don't know, 18. You improve that. If you don't improve that, you're done. It is what it is.
Remember he went to Leeds and he got absolutely cooked.
He was rubbish at Leeds. He was rubbish. Leeds were going
But for
down.
us, he's great.
Leeds were going down, and you had Leeds fans saying, "Please sell him." No, bench him. I'm like, you're fighting
Yeah.
relegation, and they were like, "I don't care, bench him." I'm like, oh boy, he's our best player. We have an
Yep.
issue. Oh, but it's one season. No, it's not. We loaned him out because he was rubbish before.
Yeah.
You know, it's for me, it's very frustrating to hear these things. It really is.
Yeah.
There's so many excuses. At one point, I gave Allegri credit for certain things, but for certain things, I will not give credit because they're not improving. I criticize players, but at one point, I'm like, I cannot criticize certain players, or like it needs to stop because that needs to come from setup around him, the way we play and all these things, and that's not happening. And that's the conversation I always have when people say big chances missed. I'm like, okay. I looked up some of these big chances. Some are on the edge of the box. You know, I think when
That's a big chance.
yeah, apparently.
Mm.
When people see big chances, they think he was on the goal line to tap it in. It's not really like that. It's like key passes. What the hell is a key pass? I don't know what that is. Like, I'm like,
A key pass, I think, is a pass in the final third into the box or something.
great.
I think that is.
Like that could be still rubbish. Like,
Yeah.
that could
Oh,
still,
yeah.
Like like the most crosses, and I'm like, but it's going to nobody and nowhere. Like, what are
Yeah,
we
you check the crossing percentage, it's like 8%.
I'm like, if you try it 100 times again, at one point, it's
Yeah.
it's
It's like the set piece thing. It's like, yeah, if you're gonna cross the ball 100 times in a game, one's gonna go in. Okay.
there are too many excuses. It's too much. It's year 3. We're talking about things we were talking in year 1 and 2. It's
Yeah.
an issue. It's an issue. With players he wanted, with players he didn't want, whatever, it doesn't really change. Yes, obviously quality is gonna help.
Yeah.
No shit. Like, obviously.
You still have though
Bologna
a guy
lost Arnautovic,
under.
by the way.
Yeah. Yep.
He's doing better. He's doing better. Coaching. Like,
Well,
players-
Xerxes is Xerxes better than Arnautovic? But
Yeah,
who
but-
mage Xerxes?
Yeah, okay.
coach.
That's a fair. But like, he's playing at a very high level, Xerxes. Like, he is. He's playing with very big confidence, and that comes also from coaching confidence. Because look at McKennie. I think that's a prime example of coaching,
Yeah.
of like confidence. I'm not so sure coaching, just discipline. Like, he's doing the basic stuff, or like the bare minimum, like being very disciplined. Like, you expect that from your players out there, being paid millions. Be disciplined.
Yep.
You know, you play once a week. Also with him, we play once a week. And
Yep.
we still look unprepared at times.
Yep.
I'm like, what are we doing during the week? What are we doing?
Yeah. Think of
But
the contrast. Inter's played 7 more games than us because they played 6 Champions League games and a Coppa Italia game, and they're 4 points out of us, and they look great. They
I
do.
brought
I
that
hate to say
up in
that.
the week, and somebody flipped that. Somebody did to reverse on me. Oh, they're playing more games. They can test out more things. I'm like, oh my god, I can never win. Like I can never win this conversation because
Yeah.
one time it's we don't play, we can prepare, but then they flip it and they're like, oh, but they play more. You know what? Actually, that's better. They can improve. They can work on things. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you, I, it's at one point it's pointless when you talk about
Yeah.
Vlahovic and I bring up Milik. I'm not saying Milik should be performing at the same level. I'm just saying the entire attacking department looks rubbish. They don't look good for years. All of them, Di Maria, Bernardeschi, Dybala, like, name them. They didn't look good. That's the
Yeah.
issue. I'm not saying Vlahovic should be playing down to the level of Milik. I'm not saying that. I'm not
No.
saying because Milik is bad, Vlahovic can be bad. All of them are bad. But
There has to be an underlying issue of why they're all bad.
yeah. Final 2 points.
Yeah.
January. In a couple of days, a week
Yeah.
or so. Realistically, not when I say what do we need a lot, but keep in context, it's January. Rumors. What do you think we need for this team to be? Let's say it's 4 points, January the 1st, still 4 points. What
Yeah.
can we realistically bring in to bridge that 4 points gap? Yeah, we need to be realistic.
It's a midfielder. It's a creative midfielder, a player that plays higher up the pitch. And it's not Phillips. It's not Højbjerg. It's probably not even Samardzic at this point. I would love to get Koopa Myers, but I don't know how realistic that is. I don't know what the deal is. If you have to sell Illing, if you have to sell, which I'm going to be completely honest with you, I would sell Illing for Koopa Myers. I would, personally.
Yeah, because he's going to use Colt Minus. He's not using Junior.
Yes, yes. That's mostly because of it. And I think we're more desperate because, again, like you said, Kostic seems to be starting a lot. And the next guy is Cambiaso, and it's not Illing.
Yeah.
So I would go for a guy like Coop Miners. Again, that's the most unrealistic out of the 4 that I mentioned, but that's the guy.
Okay, yeah. So an attacking.
Or his profile.
Yeah. But the news
Yeah.
is confusing. You know, it's Philip Stocks and then Di Marcio saying, nah, Allegri wants a different profile, saying maybe Højbjerg. I'm like, that's not really different.
No,
or like
that's the exact same.
And then you have Nico Shira saying he wants a more an attacking midfielder, which makes more sense. So I'm going.
Yep.
At this point, I'm like, he cannot sit there and be like, I need Højbjerg.
No.
And if he's sitting there, Juntuli should be sitting there as well and tell him, no. Like, no.
Unless the grand plan is to bump Locatelli up. And at this point, I
But-
don't know what the grand plan is.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think Allegri likes him there,
I don't think
which
so.
is fine.
And I think Locatelli will need some time to get up to speed again because
100%.
he's not playing well again. I don't think he's playing.
He's been surviving. He's been surviving down there.
Yeah, he has one
in the
good game
doldrums.
and then a couple of games. And I blamed Ale, or like I said, he's not positioned. But he came out and said, I'm improving. I like this position. I'm like, okay, you said it. Now show me. Like,
Yeah.
you're not showing it me. I have a love-hate relationship with Locatelli. I do. It's frustrating to watch him play at times. It is.
So as you know, throughout the years of the channel, I was like, I'm sorry for him for the first part, like the first couple of years when he had to play there. However, this is his 3rd year now. Like, he's like the only constant, I'll say. Him and Rabiot in the midfield are the only constants, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's at the base and Rabiot's to his left. That's what we've seen through 3 years. At some point, I know it's hard in this, I'll quote, system under Allegri to be a proactive player in that position as the base.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same as what Pjanic did, and it's not the same as what Pirlo was doing. It's not the same role, and it's not the same system. I'm sorry. So how do you judge him on that? Well, defensively, he's good. I'll give him that. He's good. He's combative. He wins the ball. What he does with it after, that's where I'll agree with you. It's hit and miss, and he has to take care of the ball better. He has to his passing range has to get way better. Like sometimes he fires it off
Yeah.
the field to the left. Sometimes he fires it off the field for a goal kick. I'm like, bro, get your range going and just if it's not working, pass the ball short. Get to the closest outlet. And he's good enough. You know that. I know that. I've
Yeah,
seen it
yeah.
at Sassuolo. I've seen it with Italy. He can split passes between two players into an attacking player. I'll say Chiesa or Vlahovic. Does he trust Vlahovic though to hold the ball up? I don't know. Is that a problem? I don't know.
I
Like it's a team, right? When you have a player, when I was playing midfield and I saw a particular player up top, I was like, am I going to pass to you at your feet where you're not going to hold the ball up, or am I going to hopefully hope that you make a run in behind? Now, they're pros and they're very good players, so you should hopefully expect just to pass the ball forward. So I hope that's not the reason. I could be making this all up, but I think it's just his passing range is way off.
yeah, that's my biggest issue with him.
His passing range is way off.
Defensively,
But what he does defensively is very good.
yeah, yeah,
I
I agree.
also
But his
I'll
passing
vouch for
range
that.
is
Yeah,
it's all over the place.
yeah,
Like, and even in games, that's my biggest thing. Like even within
yeah,
games, he can have moments where it's like good, and then switch off completely. And I'm like,
yeah,
what just happened? What
yeah.
just happened? Like it's frustrating for me. It really
And
is frustrating.
by the way, you can't expect a Calvin Phillips to come in
No,
and like because he's playing at the Man City way, where it's all people are rotating around him and he's playing nice. Not, I'm not saying he's playing tic tac because he doesn't play tic tac, but
but
he's got players rotating around him and there's always somebody open. I
the
think
Phillips thing,
he will shit his pants in his first game for Juventus. I
Philip,
promise that.
he haven't played football for a year. Like let's be honest as well.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
so, how much is he gonna contribute as well? You know, it's
Nothing.
yeah, it's tough. You know, when I hear Phillips, I the first thing I think is like he's gonna switch with McKennie in midfield, and
On the right side, which is horrible.
yeah, that's what I think. You know, because I don't think he's moving Locatelli. So even the rumors are not really spicy or like exciting, and it's yeah, just wait and see. I think wait and see, which is
I
weird because
think,
it's already almost January. We should have hear some like real news. Like there's no real
yeah,
winter break. Like you should if you want to bring someone
I
in, he needs to come in quick, not at the end.
I think I think I'm hoping this. I hope they stay status quo for the rest of the season. They get their top four. They don't spend a dime. If they want to sell Illing, sell Illing. I don't like in January. I don't care. Get that cash, and then go for it in summer. Because you got the
Um,
European spots, you got the league placing, you got your fucking UEFA bullshit out of the way. Have fun.
I am
Really
also
assess the team for a year though. Like if Giuntoli's going to do that, really assess the team for a year.
yeah, that's what he's saying. Like, well, we don't really need one. We need to see more of Nicolucci and Junior. I'm like, we need to see
No,
more, but you know that's not gonna happen. Same for
yeah,
Nicolucci. He shouldn't be at the club. You know, for his own
sell him
sake.
for like 6 million. Sell him,
That's also
just
what I
sell him.
said. Like you can bring those up those names. Allegri's not gonna play in one game a week, so I'm with you. If the names are the ones who are being linked with now, I agree. You know, he
Yeah,
needs help. The team needs help. But if those are the names, I'm like, okay,
no,
a loan, like a loan doesn't hurt. Like a free loan, whatever. You know, okay, but don't waste money. You need to be very smart. You need to know. That's why I don't like the Rabiot thing as well. You know, because it's
don't sign him now. Don't sign him now.
yeah, and it's also like not even like he doesn't sign. He's signed. He's waiting until the end of the season. I think that's
Yeah,
kind of disrespectful towards us as a club as well. You know,
yeah,
because we don't know what really is going to happen, but we need to know: is Allegri going to stay? Is he going to stay? Is Allegri going to stay? Is Chiesa
yeah.
signing that a scamble 1 year deal, which is also an insult for us? What's going to happen with Vlahovic? So many question marks. You cannot be wrapped up in signing a player mid-season, and at the end of the season, you're like, oh, we're going to play 4-3-3, but we have Højbjerg in the team. We
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have spent
Oof.
the money on him. You know, I
Yeah.
agree on that part. Like, you don't do crazy stuff. If it's a loan, okay, you know. But if you're going to spend money, he needs to be part of the plan. And for the years to come, even if Allegri is gone, you should be a player that every coach can work with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
where there's
I agree with that.
you can improve, you can mold a little bit, whatever. It cannot be 32-year-old Højbjerg if he's
Yeah,
32. I don't know.
he's
Probably.
up there. He's same age or as Rabiot or something, a little bit older.
Yeah, it cannot be like that. Even the Rabiot
No,
1 year deal, oh, it's good on the books financially. I'm like, it's coward. Like we're being
it's a waste of a
cowards.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's a plug.
it's a plug for 2 years for a 30-year-old player. I'm like, no, just cut ties at that point. Just stop doing this.
If you're going to search for players that have a Euro Cup coming up this year and are need to play to get to their national team. And I know the two of them are Phillips and Højbjerg,
Phillips,
but
yeah.
other ones.
The Chiesa one is also an issue. Like he's going to the Euros and we still have no contract talks.
Yep.
It's worrying, you know. Last thing before we wrap it up.
Yep.
Your quick preview for Frosinone and Roma, because that's the last two games of this year.
Yeah.
So Frosinone away Saturday and next Saturday. Wait, is it the 30th? Saturday the 30th.
30th.
Yeah.
They'll play 30th.
We play Roma at home. So
Yeah.
quick preview on those two games. What do you expect? What do we need?
Frosinone, they're buzzing. Obviously, they just smacked
Yeah.
around Napoli, pulled their pants down, so they're absolutely buzzing and on one right now. Oh, but they played midweek and we didn't play midweek. Blah blah blah. Oh my god. I don't care about that. It's Frosinone. You go there, you beat them. Sule's had a nice time. Yeah, Baranich has had a nice time. If Kyle Jor starts, I don't think he will. But you make them. You want to make them feel like shit. I'm sorry. You want to make them like be scared and say, oh my god, this is what I need to get up. I need to make next year.
Yeah.
You want to make your point and you want to make it nice. We won't because we're not like that. It's going to be another scrap. Like every game's a scrap. Every game's like, oh my god, are we going to score one goal or two? Frosinone is a nice team to watch, and they're going to be at home, and they're buzzing. We're going to struggle, and it is what it is. And those my morning games, your midday games, those games are shit. I'm not saying for me to watch.
Bad.
Yeah, no, you don't like they're shit for them. Those players to play in.
Oh yeah, as well. Like
It's midday.
yeah, that schedule is messed up. You know, eating, waking
Yeah.
up. It's not fun.
That's
I
horrible.
play
It's not
games
good.
At 10 a.m. and it's like
Not good.
The first year or so I was doing it, I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm gonna
Yeah.
fall asleep in the locker room. Now it's every single week. It's normal, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But they're playing
they're crap
like
games.
Juventus has played every game at 2:45
Yeah,
or
yeah.
8:40. They've played every night game. Now they're gonna play 12:30 noon. They're gonna have their fucking pasta at that time. They're gonna struggle. It's gonna be a horrible game to watch for us.
Sure. But there's gonna be space
And then
compared to the Genoa one.
Yeah, again, because they like to go attack
Yeah.
Frosinone. The Francesco says, yeah, let's go have fun. They got 17-year-olds up top, and they're gonna have fun. But we're gonna struggle against it. It's about optimizing space. Rabiot is playing or not? Do we know?
Yeah, he's back. He's ready.
Okay, so he's playing, so we're gonna win.
Oh, we're gonna.
It's all moot. We're
gonna. If we lose that game, oh my god. Excuse me? Oh, you buzzed out. You're muted. Your sound is gone. Your sound is gone. But I will talk for you to fix it. But Frosinone are gonna leave some more space compared to Genoa. It should be playing in our end. I don't know if it's gonna be like that. You know, if we're gonna take advantage of it, but they will leave more. They will. Napoli didn't didn't take any of it, but yeah. I think you're still muted, by the way. Yeah, you're muted. I cannot see your sound. That's very strange. I cannot see the sound moving. No, you're muted. Yeah, you speak. So the Frosinone game, that's that one. There's a Frosinone stat video out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the usual preview out because I'm out tomorrow. Or today, excuse me. I'm not at home and we play Saturday morning, so I think for this time there's not going to be a real preview. But I talked about it during the live, so I kind of gave my preview for that. I don't think Julian's mic is working. No, because I cannot see the sound coming up.
No.
Oh, it's back. It's
No.
back.
Oh, it's back. Okay.
So quickly, Roma.
Roma, another dusty ass game that's gonna happen. Like we expected at this point. You know, some shit house is gonna happen. Lukaku, Dybala not playing. Oh, Dybala might. Lukaku no. Um, Belotti is gonna start with probably El Shaarawy, and it's gonna be still tight, and it's gonna be a shit house.
I think that game we're gonna beat them easily.
You think easy?
Yeah, I think
You think we be? But how? Okay, why? What's easy? 2-0.
3-1-2 now. Yeah.
So we're winning by 2 is easy. So I still
You
think it's gonna be a
can.
shit house at some point.
I will be
Like,
absolutely sad if we don't beat that Roma side easy. Like I will be at
yeah.
home. I will be very. It will be sad.
What's been a good? What's been like a not sad result since Lazio 3-1?
Um,
Like when we beat Milan 1-0, were we good? No.
no, it was rubbish.
It's a good result, but like we weren't good.
I have
It
actually
wasn't
no
easy.
idea. I'm
Napoli
probably
wasn't
gonna be.
easy.
No, I think the game I was more. Maybe probably Verona. I know we won it at the end, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
should
we
have
were
won
good
that
actually.
game.
Yeah.
It was we had the chances. Other than that, I agree. But
So
Roma
like
gives
that's
me
crazy when
Lazio
you say
type
that,
of
but
vibes at home.
sure. Yeah.
They give me those type of vibes. That's why I'm like,
And they're missing their top two guys. So
yeah, yeah, potentially. So
most likely. Dybala, I don't know.
yeah, probably. I don't think Dybala's gonna make it. It will be
He's
very
got loose
crazy.
meat hamstrings anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think he's gonna make it. So 6 points, you say?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I'll say 6 points.
It should
Yeah,
be.
I'll say I'll say I'll be optimistic to say 6 points. Again, not gonna be pretty to watch, but when has it ever been? So
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like,
if you get if they do give me 6 points by the end of the year, I will be like they'll be on 43 points and they'll be on pace to get almost 90 points. Would you expect that ever? Would you be like, wow?
no, 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 because it's not gonna happen. But I know what you're saying.
If they, because then they play Salernitana, right? That's their last
I
league
think
game.
they play Salernitana and then Salernitana again in the Coppa.
Yeah, because they
Or
play the
Coppa
Coppa Italia.
first and
So
then
yeah, so it goes Frosinone, Roma, Salernitana, and that'll be the 19th game. That'll be they played every team. Hypothetically speaking, if you think you beat Frosinone, you beat Roma, you beat Salernitana, you have 46 points. 46 times 2 is 92.
do we have 46 points? Oh yeah, we have 46.
Like if you win
you
the
win
3
out.
games.
Yeah. No. I was just saying. Yeah, points wise, I never really thought about it. Really?
How crazy is that though?
Yeah. It is.
We shit on this team and we hate this team, but like I hate, and you know what, I hate watching this team. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest
like
with you.
I acknowledge what we're doing points wise. I
Yeah.
expected that was my prediction. So I'm not. One of
92 points though?
No, I don't think we're gonna finish 92. I just
No,
said,
we're not. But like,
but just second, and compete. That was my thing, So
Yeah.
we're kind of doing that, but that doesn't take away all the rest, which
Yeah.
you can still criticize. Like
yeah,
there's no issue.
you have to criticize.
As
If
that
you're not
fans,
first, if you're not competing for a European title, you're not in a good spot, in my opinion.
yeah,
As Juventus,
yeah,
as yeah,
I agree. I agree.
yeah.
So there you go. That's podcast number none.
Sure.
No, it has no number.
Wrapping up 2023
Yeah,
podcast.
we will try to do one once every single month,
Yeah.
and then I will start counting them because it's easy. It's
Yeah.
12 until the end of the year, so I cannot mess it up.
Yeah,
But thanks, Julian, for
Yeah.
coming on. People have been asking for it. No bust ups whatsoever.
no ill will, man.
All
None.
good. So stop spamming. the
Life goes
comments,
on.
people.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm alive and well too.
yeah, that I already told people because some
Yeah.
there was a comment I deleted it because it was crazy. It was
Let me.
just-
What was it? What was it before we
It
wrap
was
up?
about. No, I cannot even say that. It was about.
Say it. Did I die?
Yeah, at the end, yeah, you died, but like there was all crazy scenarios. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna let that underneath
That's
the
too
video.
funny.
That was crazy.
I'm
He's alive.
I'm a person who I can accept that, but like that's funny to me. So if that
Yeah,
happens again,
but,
let
like,
me point it
saying,
out.
"Oh, it's your fault he left." I'm like, no, nothing happened. Nothing happened. All good.
You can tell.
try once a month.
It's because he shits on Canada too much.
Buchanan
That's why.
going to Inter apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll help out
he's
really
not
well.
signing a new deal. I saw on the news over here. He's not
Hmm.
signing a new deal, so 8 million apparently close, or that's what.
Why don't
they're-
why can't Juventus just do that and then send Cambiasso to the left and never see Kostic again?
Oh yeah.
You got
Just-
two North Americans outright? Why not? I'm kidding. Fuck that. He sucks. Aim better.
Okay, so that's it. That's a wrap up podcast for 23 people. Like the video, subscribe,
Yeah,
hit that bell notification, all that good stuff. I will still pull through, even during the holidays. I will
absolutely.
pre-record stuff. It will
Legend.
come out every single day, and then hopefully I'll see Julian again at the end of
You will.
January or so to wrap up potential transfers and whatever. Being in a complete title race or being completely out of the title race. Who knows?
Yeah, it could change at any moment.
It can flip really quickly in January. It can even now.
Also, one more thing. One more thing before you click close. And if people are still watching and listening, like the video, all that stuff, like you said. But think about 2023. We're in the midst of our minus 15 points, minus 10 points. That's how this year started.
Yeah.
Remember that. That's how this year started. We were at minus 15, then we got our points back, and then we went to minus 10, and then we got kicked out of Europe, and now we're on pace for 92 points the next season with a shit squad
I'm gonna tweet that out.
on paper.
I'm
yeah.
gonna put out a sarcastic tweet being on pace for 92 points.
Do it. Hype it up with your account, not the Bianca Arizona account.
No,
with yours.
On my account. I will take the stake for it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks everybody
Yeah.
for watching, because I know a lot of people do watch until the end, and it's a long one,
Okay.
so all good. And I will see you guys tomorrow, and you will see Julian hopefully next month in
You'll see me.
2024.
You'll see
Thanks
me
for
around.
watching, people.
Peace out.